Guys, Alex here. Today we're going to go over the software engineering degree, the new master's degree. So this video is just going to go over the basics of this degree, the core curriculum a little bit, and I will dive into the tracks. There's 3 different tracks, and I will dive into those in separate videos. I'm going to go over in this video what those tracks are. So, and I might make some comparisons to the computer science master's degree as well, and I have a video on that you can watch too. So I'll try to make this video short today and make the track videos like the more detailed videos. So let's dive into it. What tracks are in this degree, if this degree is right for you. You might be wondering, are there any courses you can transfer into this master's degree? And there's only one transferable course, as the computer science master's degree will have 2. And I'll go over that in a future video as well. For the software engineering master's degree, you can transfer in the networking and cloud course. You need 2 different certifications to do it. You would need the AWS, I think it's the advanced networking certification, and you would need the AWS Solution Architect Associate. So you need both of those to transfer in, or with one Azure certification, which would be the Solutions Architect Expert certification, I believe. So if you transfer that in, that will cover that course. So that course would be eliminated and you don't have to do it. Before I go over the core courses, so I'll go over the tracks individually in different videos. I'll make a different video for each 3 tracks, and I'll go over the courses in those 3 tracks. For this video, we're going to do the core courses, which are in all 3 tracks, and they all have crossover with each other. So basically, today we're going to dive into the core courses, and I'll go over all of them. But before we dive into that, is this degree right for you? Now, you can't go wrong with either of these degrees. Like, just depends. Do you want to learn application or do you want to learn more theory? Don't get me wrong. The computer science master's is going to teach you a lot of application as well, but it's going to be a theory-based degree. I'm leaning towards the computer science AI track myself. You will learn the ins and outs of how everything works and also how to apply it too. Now, the software engineering master's is more if you want to stay in the industry and you want to work as a software engineer and level up as a software engineer. I've said in my previous computer science master's video that if you have a software engineering bachelor's, I think it would look better if you got a computer science master's. And then if you have a computer science bachelor's, you can go like either route, to be honest with you. If you have a computer science bachelor's and you already work as a software engineer, I'd probably get the computer science master's. If you have a computer science bachelor's and you've never worked in the industry, I'd probably do this software engineering master's right here. So that's the one use case for sure where I would get this degree, is if you have a computer science bachelor's and you've never worked in the industry. I think this software engineering master's would definitely look very good on your resume and help you out a lot. It'll teach you a lot about software engineering and how to apply it on the job. Now, if you really do want to do a software engineering undergrad and software engineering master's, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just my personal opinion that it would look better to get the computer science master's instead of 2 software engineering degrees. So the software engineering bachelor's would have taught you way better how to do software engineering compared to the master's. So bachelor degrees are always way more in depth than master's degrees because there's a lot more courses and it teaches you all the fundamentals. So masters are like, an add-on to heighten your skills. But so it's not like if you did the software engineering bachelor's, like you don't really need to learn the software engineering master's, right? So that's why I would do the computer science master's. Feel free to rewind that and, look over my suggestions again. So, but anyways, let's dive into the core courses. So I am reading from the WGU software engineering PDF here. And we're going to go over the first course today, which is real-life applications of data structures. So this is going to be a little different than your standard data structures class that is based off theory. So this one will be based off actual application that you apply data structures into an application or software. So here's the description. Real-life applications of data structures cover basic to advanced topics in data structures and their associated algorithms, with a focus on real-world examples and applications. This course focuses on problem-solving techniques for designing efficient and maintainable software solutions using Python. So this will use Python as I suspected. Python is one of the easiest ways to learn, especially with data structures. So the learner analyzes the challenges of integrating multiple data structures into a software product. Once again, this course is based off application more so than theory. The learner evaluates the performance of data structures and algorithms based on time versus space performance. The learner identifies available resources or libraries for the application of algorithms. The learner identifies data structures to efficiently meet the software solution needs for a business. The learner implements data structures to meet the software solution needs. So this software engineering master's degree really does, it goes through a lot of like business application. Basically, yes, this teaches you industry software engineering, which is, a lot of you guys are trying to get a job in. Or if you're running your own business, it teaches you how to integrate a bunch of, software. So this teaches you how to implement data structures into a application, software, etc. And this will be a pretty interesting course. It looks like it'll absolutely be a project. We don't know what's going to be an OA or a writing assignment or a project at this point. WGU doesn't give us that specific information until like you're actually enrolled. So, but just by the description, this does seem like it will be a project course. So it looks, like you definitely need to know data structures. I don't think this is the type of data structures class that helps you pass an interview. That would be more so from your bachelor's degree, Data Structures and Algorithms 1, which this one just focuses on like how to use it in application. So if you're worried about a hard algorithms class, which a lot of masters in computer science degrees have, this is not that. It doesn't sound like that. There is one in the computer science master's degree that does sound like a challenging algorithms course, but this course does not sound like that. So this is just going to apply data structures to an application. So it doesn't sound too difficult, but it will definitely help you learn how to integrate data structures in software. So the next course is Advanced Software Engineering. This sounds like a pretty important course, but reading the description, it just sounds like an advanced version of the software engineering course in your bachelor's degree. So I'm reading the description right now, and it doesn't sound like this is going to teach you any coding or anything like that. Just like the software engineering class in your bachelor degree, if you remember that, it's just like a writing assignment where you put like a bunch of steps together, right? Like you put a bunch of steps together and methods, like the software engineering process. So like the software engineering life cycle, basically. So this is an extension of that. You'll be doing that once again. You'll be doing the software engineering life cycle. You'll be doing what methodologies you use, what frameworks you use and stuff like that, but you won't actually like be doing any kind of coding project. So this is like, I'm not like the hugest fan of these type of courses, to be honest with you. Like you just, like you go through the life cycle and the methodologies and stuff like that. I mean, it is kind of useful, but for the most part, this doesn't really help you build anything. And a lot of times you won't be dealing with this type of thing for the most part on the job. So like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of these type of courses, but they can be helpful, and they do help you understand like how an application's life cycle from the business perspective, and also, the engineering perspective as well, but like how it goes from like start to finish and what steps are start to finish here. So I'll read a little bit further here. So yeah, project management skills through communication, collaboration, how the development of a project will be monitored. You explain each software development life cycle. So yeah, this is just basically going through, the budget, the risks, the project scope, how it will be built, etc. Timeline, all of those types of things. So a lot of project management, product manager crossover here too. So advanced software engineering, you won't be doing any coding. This will likely be a writing assignment. So not a project and not a OA. This will likely be a writing assignment, and it'll probably be one of the fastest courses. Like the writing assignments at WGU are very fast. You can probably knock this out in 5 days, I would assume, just by reading it. The next course here is Software Product Design and Requirements Engineering. And this actually does sound like a much more useful class than Advanced Software Engineering. So in this course, you'll be gathering information, system requirements, integrating user needs, finding out what user needs are. So finding out system requirements is, a big thing. So you're basically researching into like the product design and what kind of requirements engineering wise are going to be required. So a lot of information gathering. And this is a real thing in the software engineering world and any kind of like engineering world, right? You have to find out the requirements and do a lot of research beforehand. You're not just going to start building something. You want to learn, what the design is going to be, all the requirements you need for the engineering to start, basically. So this course sounds like it'll be useful. It's not going to be as useful as a, hands-on like coding project or like, building an application. But this will be much more useful than the previous course, in my opinion. This could be a writing assignment or a project. It does not sound like it's going to be a test. My guess is this would be another writing assignment. So, and this will probably be another fast course. So we're 3 courses into this software engineering degree, and this already sounds like a very hackable degree. I think the computer science masters would be kind of difficult to do in one term for sure, but this one is looking like it's very possible. I think this one is becoming very possible to do in one term just by looking at the curriculum. So software product design and requirements engineering sounds like a pretty useful course. Turn to the next course, which is software architecture and design, and this sounds like it'll probably be a project. It's not going to be like a coding project or an application, but it does sound like it'll be some type of project, and it sounds pretty important. So you're going to learn how to deal with large-scale software systems and how to build up software systems. So you're going to design patterns that relate to software elements in a software system, which is pretty cool. You'll explain which design patterns should be used to address software patterns. So I think this course really teaches you how to problem solve in the software engineering world, which is definitely important to know. You're going to learn how to implement software architecture and design solution to solve a real-world problem. And you will justify your software architecture used in the software system. So you'll defend like why your software architecture is like the solution. So it sounds like a pretty important course. You definitely want to learn how to do software architecture and design. So this goes beyond software engineering a little bit here, being a software architect and just the design of it. So it takes it a little step further than just building, software engineering applications. This takes you, a little further to how it all works and like what solution you need. Because software engineers, a lot of times they're building, most of the time, like 90+%, they're building onto an application. They're hired to build something continuously what's already been built. Like they're adding onto it, they're modifying it, etc. Most of the time you're not really working on some like application from scratch, right? So this will teach you like how to decide architecture and design for like a brand new platform, what system to use, what architecture and design you should use, etc. So this does sound like a pretty important course. Guys, we are in the next course, which is software quality and assurance and deployment. So in this course, basically this looks like a writing assignment. You're going to create a document. In this document, you're going to have like a disaster recovery plan for a business to resume quickly after an unplanned incident. So I think that is extremely important. I think that's more important in like if you own your own business, like just knowing those steps. But it's also important in the software engineering world as well, especially if you're like a senior software engineer. You're going to create an outline of deployment strategy. You're going to document the objectives and requirements for automated testing. You're going to evaluate and select deployment strategies based off specific needs and what infrastructure you need as well. The learner identifies the quality model and metrics used to ensure the software meets the needs and expectations of the business. This once again sounds like a quick, probably less than 6 or 7 day course that is a writing assignment. So far, I think this degree is like really hackable for a master's degree. But this is just a guess. I haven't done this degree. I have not done the courses. They might be extremely difficult. I don't know. But just going through the degree so far, it does sound like a very hackable degree. So now we are in risk management, government risk, and compliance. So this, compliance is important. It's more important if you're running your own business. But, I don't like calling any courses filler courses, but this does seem like a bit of a filler course here. Most of these master degrees in any school, not just WGU, they always have like one, like this kind of risk management course. I would prefer to like learn like more technical stuff, but this stuff is kind of important still. And it looks like this will be another writing assignment. You're going to put a document together. The learner develops a plan for security and privacy compliance issues. So the learner evaluates a system security plan in line with business organizational strategy. Now, if you run your own business, I actually think this course is really important, right? So when you run your own business, security is extremely important. And having a plan for when everything goes wrong is important as well. So this course, if you want to be a business owner, I think it's important. But if you do want to be a software engineer, it's also important. I'm not going to really dive too much into this. It looks like a writing assignment. It looks like a pretty fast course that you can also hack. So risk management, government risk, and compliance. Pretty hackable course is what it sounds like. Final core course here is network architecture and cloud computing. Now, reading this, I originally thought this was going to be an OA, but it does say down here, the learner will develop a cloud-based solution to a business problem. So that makes me think it's a project. So does this degree really have no OAs in the core courses? I guess we'll find out. So now I don't know if having no OAs makes it more hackable or less hackable. I think that would be up for debate. It depends how rigorous WGU is going to be on their grading process with these projects and writing assignments. So, but if it's their usual grading where you can turn it in multiple times and you just follow the rubric, which you can go over my WGU How to Accelerate video. You just follow the rubric and you write enough to satisfy the rubric. It does sound like this degree is really, really hackable. Now, network architecture and cloud computing, I think this will either be an OA or it's going to be a project. It does sound like it'll probably be a project. So in this course, students are equipped to understand and analyze, implement cloud computing and solutions tailored to diverse business needs. So, think of yourself as you're working for a business or you're like a freelancer that is working for a business and you're going to go over cloud computing and network architecture. So you'll be foundational systems of modern data center computing. You'll learn systems for business use cases. You'll learn cloud infrastructure, a high focus on network security in this course. You'll learn security protocols, how to do secure networks. So it does look like it's a very important course to keep your applications safe in the company you're working for or for your own company. Cloud-based solutions can resolve real-world business problems. I really do like this software engineering master's degree. Like you already learned how to build things and code things in your software engineering bachelor's or your computer science bachelor's. And then this degree really it takes it a step further where you learn more security protocols, keeping those things safe, and having like implementations in place. It also helps you with designing and like going through that brainstorming process as well. So I do think this degree is very good to build on your previous knowledge of keeping your applications safe. So the bachelor degree is like, hey, you build everything. This degree, it really helps you test things and then also secure them. And obviously you want to keep your applications secure because if your application becomes a success or your company becomes a success, then you become, a target, right? You become a target. People want to hack you. People, a lot of times they do it for money or maybe you have enemies or whatever, but you become an open target, and that's just how life is, unfortunately. So you need like good secure protocols. If we're talking about outside of applications, like make sure your accounts are secure, very good passwords, always have multiple factor authentication on, etc. So This degree, that goes over, that's the core courses, guys. So I'll be ending this video now, and then I'll be making 3 tracks to go over the 3-4 courses that are part of each of those tracks. So this is the core courses today, and it looks like a very hackable degree. It looks like a much more hackable degree than the computer science master's degree. So the computer science master's degree has some courses that look pretty challenging, and there's challenging courses in here too, but the computer science master's has some challenging courses, such as the graduate algorithms class, and the AI track as well, and even the computing track. So those tracks might take you a while, might be very hard courses, in-depth courses. This software engineering master's, I really do think this actually is hackable in 6 months. So if you want a degree in 1 year, computer science master's would probably take about a year in my opinion, where this software engineering master's, as long as you have time, I think you can get this done in 6 months. Just reading everything right now for the first time, I think you can absolutely get this done in 6 months, a 6 months software engineering master's degree. So if speed is your thing and that's all you care about is getting one of these degrees as fast as possible, I would choose the software engineering master's. It looks more hackable. It looks faster for sure. So thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate you very, very much. I will have more software engineering master's degrees coming out about each track and going over what track you should possibly choose. So thank you guys for watching. Please take care.